On today's episode of the Film Optix podcast, we are going to be recapping the events that happened during DC Fandome this past Saturday, and we also have some special guests joining us as well. So let's jump in. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another Film Optix recap brought to you by the Drive-In Podcast Network. I'm your host, Christian, and today we're going to be talking about everything related to DC Fandome that took place this past weekend, or this weekend, I should say. And as always, I'm joined by my good friend and my co-host, Devin. How are you doing today, man?
I'm doing good. It was a good day yesterday. How about you?
It was a lot of information to take in. I'm not going to lie. I missed a few things. I had a prior obligation, but I came back and played catch up. So it was good stuff, really good stuff. But we are also joined by two guests today, Devin. It's crazy. We have guests on the show. It's insane. So we are joined by Amanda from Candid Cinema. How are you doing today?
I feel hungover and I didn't drink yesterday, so I feel like just my exhaustion level. I feel like that's what it is because I didn't sleep until like 3 a.m. I was like too hyped. Like I was talking to
hell.
Yeah, like I was talking to my friends and it was just like I got my second wind at like 2 a.m. after the panel, right? So yeah, I'm great. It was just jam packed. Thank you for having me today. I'm really excited to talk about DC Fandome.
Oh, of course. The difference between me, I actually drank yesterday, so I am a little bit hungover, but that's okay. And of course, we have Leo from Geeky Goods. Last but not least, he is a veteran on the podcast. This is his second appearance because he came on, talked a lot of HBO Max with me and Colby Mack a few months ago. How have you been, man?
Dude, I've been good. Thanks for having me back on again. Man, I can agree with you, Amanda. I feel hungover. I did drink a little bit too, but I didn't even drink enough to be hungover. So I'm like, all right, definitely that DC Fandome stuff just really got me so hyped up. I was definitely up till 2 a.m. Just couldn't stop thinking about what we got with the Batman and some of the other reveals as well that we'll get into later on in the cast. But after seeing that Batman trailer, I'm like, can you really hate on Robert Pattinson as Batman right now?
Oh, they still are. They still are.
After that, come on.
He's so sparkly.
No way. But it was great, guys. I feel good.
That's good. That is really good. I'm glad you guys are both here. It's happy to have you guys both on for sure. Let's get into a little bit of housekeeping here before we begin today's recap review, I guess you can call it. You can listen to this podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, Google Play, Red Circle, TuneIn, Pandora, and iHeart. So I kind of wanted to just open up the floor. I know I have a few talking points here that we could get into, but I wanted to get everyone's initial thoughts because we know that DC Fandome originally it was jam packed. It's supposed to have all this stuff, the movies, the TVs, the comics, and then they split it off into two separate dates. And I wanted to get everyone's initial thoughts about how you how you would. How you felt about the event or the first part of the event overall, but we'll start with Leo since we can't see each other's faces, but it's fine. Can't see everyone's beautiful faces today. I'm sorry. It's all right. But Leo, go ahead. Give us your first initial thoughts about the event yesterday.
Kind of just like the overall what I thought about it after, or
I guess going into what were your expectations?
Okay.
What were you hoping to see?
So I was hoping to get some reveals, which we did, like some juicy stuff. Going in, I really didn't know what to expect because I went into Comic-Con at home, and how that turned out was definitely not how this turned out being. So I was a little cautious, but I felt like DC had a good plan, especially with the trailer. So the closer it got, the more hyped I was, but maybe just a teensy bit cautious. I wanted maybe something about the Green Lanterns. I was hoping, praying that we would get something about Green Lanterns, but nothing yet. So I mean, I was going in cautious just a little bit.
Okay. All right. Fair enough. Amanda, what about you?
Oh man, I was amped. I was amped the second they said it. Like, I was so excited because Comic-Con was completely, like, it was a dud. It was useless. Nothing was there. You took the two biggest things to happen at Comic-Con, which is Marvel and DC. Like, you're gonna have nothing, to be perfectly honest. And I remember watching the panels. It's like, but am I really excited for this? And the answer was no, so I didn't watch it. But like literally, DC Fandome was one of the best experiences I've ever had. And I think it's like the future, to be perfectly honest. I think it moved really well between panels. They could have done a couple of things differently to have like more unity between the cast members for each panel. I felt like it was a bit disjointed, but overall, I had a blast yesterday. And the thing that it was just so international, was so global. Everyone and their mother was like on Twitter, on YouTube, talking about it. The live reactions were everything. And I know like Leo did an incredible job over at Geeky Goods doing that live stream. So
yeah, I saw.
Like, just so good. And I was like live tweeting up a storm, trying to like keep everyone like into, like, I'm pretty sure I spammed like the entire TL. But I told people to like mute me. I said like, please just mute me. I'm sorry.
She did though, because like I was also trying to keep up, with Music City Drive-In and doing everything on our side.
Yeah,
I was like, I can kind of do like a live update article thing, and they're like, yeah, let's go for it. I'm like,
yeah,
okay, cool. And I mean, it was a lot easier than I thought, but there was just keeping up with everyone else's streams and whatnot. I felt like I was doing 1,000 things at once.
Yeah,
but it was a great time. Devin, what about you?
I agree with Leo's sentiment. I was cautiously optimistic. When it first started and there were like the tiny ant humans on the green screen stage, I was definitely a little concerned. It just looked a little off to me, but as it kept going, it got better. I just got used to it, I guess. I did like the giant like Zoom meeting heads of all the casts.
Yeah. that actually was really funny. But yeah, for me, I guess going into the event, I guess I'm kind of in the same camp as Devin and Leo. I didn't really know what to expect, because if this is the first time that a company, like a comic book company, has done something like this, Devin and I were so used to, we're conditioned for like E3, video games and all that jazz. So like we know all the BS that happens between each set and like each showcase and whatnot. So I guess for me, I was expecting it just to be like announcement. But of course, there was a lot more filler, I guess episodes or just filler segments that I actually did appreciate, because there was a lot of cool information that I feel like you normally don't get during like a video game type conference in and of itself. And if you do, it's normally the BS that happens after the event is where you hear about everything. It's like, oh, this looks amazing. It's like, yeah, this is amazing, but you can't do X, Y, and Z. And it's like, well, that kind of sucks. That kind of like puts a damper on my excitement for like said game or whatever. But I guess wanted to go around the podcast and ask,
should we just start from the top? Wonder Woman?
Yeah, that's totally fine. So Devin, what did you think about the Wonder Woman announcement, the trailer in and of itself?
I thought it was a really cool trailer, and the panel itself was also very cool. They had the original Wonder Woman came up, and everyone was freaking out. That was awesome. But yeah, the trailer, her lassoing across lightning and clouds, it's always very cool. And the cheetah appeared.
Yeah.
Looked a little cats-ish, a little concerning about the cats comparison, but
or at least the butthole cut.
I'm not sure how they could pull that off without it looking a little strange.
Yeah. Leo, I heard you chuckling over there. What's your take?
I mean, look, I really enjoyed the Wonder Woman panel. It was one of my favorite ones. I thought it was a really good idea to start DC Fandome with that one, because that is hopefully the next film we're gonna get. I mean, the end of the trailer not dropping a date was a little bit weird. But I did enjoy the trailer. I enjoyed Linda Carter being there. I liked, all the little behind the scenes bits that we got with Gal and Kristen, and we got some with Gal and Chris Pine. And then the trailer, really good. Of course, the lasso, the lightning, the fighting in the White House, that was really cool. And I'm wondering about Cheetah. Is that the final look? I didn't hate it. I didn't think it looked absolutely awful, but I could have been down for her just being in the jacket. Like if they had told us that Cheetah was just going to have the coat, I would have been down with that. But I mean, overall, really, really liked the panel. I really enjoyed that. I thought it was a good start to Fandome.
Okay. All right. And Amanda, what about you? Your thoughts on the 1984 trailer or the panel itself?
I think that it's pretty generic. I know this sounds like weird because every panel's the same, but I just felt like they had like great chemistry. I'm not sold on Kristen Wiig as Cheetah. There's just something that's bothering me about it. I know she's a solid actress, just the fact that I don't know how to feel about her look in the movie as Barbara, not as like Cheetah. But when Linda Carter came into the panel, I thought like she gave life to the rest of the cast, and I thought her dynamic with Gal and then Patty, I thought that was really beautiful. Mm-hmm. I love the love that they have for each other. I think it's great. And the Wonder Woman 84 trailer was pretty cool. Like it's as cool as this second trailer can get. And the Cheetah reveal was just the face of Cheetah. Nah, just not having it. That face was brutal. Like, oh my God. When she was crouching and then you just saw her face, and I'm like, I know it's like 5 seconds, but I'm like, dude, you couldn't have fixed that just a bit.
5 seconds.
It was a long 5 seconds. I was like squinting. I'm like, why does it look like that? But the rest of her body was cool. Like, I don't mind it. Very Catsy. I get it. Because we're all trying to like forget about cats, and they're not making us forget about cats. It was a harsh
reminder.
Yeah, exactly. So, Diana Prince is amazing. She's incredible. And Patty Jenkins knows how to do action. And I think I'm really excited to see the choreography between Cheetah and Wonder Woman, which we got in the trailer. I'm as excited as I can be. I just want the movie to come out. I'm kind of tired of waiting for it. Like the hype level keeps decreasing for me just because it's like, okay, guys, like let's get on. Can we get it, please? So that's where I'm at.
Okay. Yeah. Fair enough. Man, I'm trying to figure out how Chris Pine's character is still alive because
the fanny pack saved him, bro.
Oh, that's right.
The magic fanny pack.
My God, it's.
I heard there was a rumor that he's going to be the next Green Lantern or something. Somehow.
Nah, I hope not.
Yeah, it's weird.
He was like, I don't know about that one. I'm not sure.
Give me Hal Jordan or Jon Stewart. We don't need Steve Trevor.
Yes, please. Hal Jordan, please. Man, oh man. Okay, so Devin, wait, did you gave your thoughts, right? Yeah. Amanda went. I'm sorry, I'm like all over the place today. Leo, did you give your thoughts yet? You did, right?
Yep.
Okay, cool. So let's just move on to the next thing, which is we got some video game news. We have Batman Gotham Knights, which was the next big reveal.
I say this is the first big surprise. They killed Batman.
Yeah. I know. Like, oh my God. Ballsy from the start. And then we get the entire Bat family and this world premiere. And not even that. We get a little bit, like about 7 minutes of official gameplay, pre-alpha build, of course, coming out in 2021. But are you guys? Well, I know Leo games. Amanda, do you game a lot, or are you kind of just?
I'm a fair gamer. I'm like I'll just play for fun. To be perfectly honest, I'm not hardcore, but like I'll play for fun.
Yeah, that's literally what it's all about. Yeah, trust me. But I guess let's just start with Amanda then. When it came to the Gotham Knights, premiere, what were your first thoughts? Your reactions?
I had no idea what that reveal was going to be, but I really think that with all the Batman content we've gotten over the years, they've never paid close attention to the Bat family. And to get a video game where you can play as each of them was just like mind-blowing to me. And then to be able to see the gameplay right after, it really sold me on the game. Like I'm going to pre-order it as soon as I can.
Yep.
It just looked amazing. And especially Batgirl too, like you get to see her in all her glory, Red Hood, Nightwing, like it looks amazing. And yeah, I was stoked. I actually started screaming. I'm like, we got a Bat-Fam game. I'm so excited. So yeah, I was pumped, man.
Yeah, I was hyped for the trailer, and then them going right into the gameplay. It was like really impressive to have that gameplay ready. It looked so good.
It really was. Well, I guess Devin, do you want to give your thoughts really quick?
Yeah, I think it looks awesome. Comparing it to another superhero game that's coming out here in about a week or so.
Let's not. We're going to keep the discount drug Marvel's Avengers game in the corner where it belongs.
It looks better visually, that's for sure. And I'm guessing the gameplay might be a little better. We'll see.
Well, yeah, we'll have to see. Leo, what about you?
Oh man, it looks incredible. I mean, as soon as I saw that reveal and, you get to see each member of the Bat family and you get to see these kind of sub skills. I think I seen Jason Todd go invisible and like you get to see kind of all these individual skills that all of them have is just incredible. And then getting to see like those views of Gotham, those aerial views and getting to kind of see it looks like an open world experience. Oh man, I'm so excited. This is a day one cop. Like, take my $60 right now. I am ready to play.
That Mr. Freeze fight was so cool too.
Yes.
We haven't I'm excited that, we're not, it's not just like the Joker. Like I'm not sure if you guys have played the Batman Arkham games. I know Devin has. It's been a while for me, but I have played them.
Interestingly, this isn't in that universe, but the Suicide Squad game is, they said.
Ooh. And another cool thing is I believe this game is co-op, so you can go through the game.
I think it's one or two players.
Yeah, one or two players, which is really cool. But I'm trying to figure out which Robin this is. Is this Damian or
Tim.
Is this Tim Drake?
I think it's Tim.
I think it's
it looks
Tim
like
too.
Tim's staff.
Yeah.
And it looks like one of Tim's outfits. It kind of looks like Red Robin without the hood. Sometimes he's got like that mask.
Yeah.
But without it.
Okay, yeah, that's what I was leading towards that, but I was like, they didn't really make it clear. I'm like, well, I don't see Damian's sword, so I'm assuming it's not him.
Yeah, maybe they'll bring Damian into a sequel if they make another one.
Yeah, this game looks freaking amazing. I was just like, it comes out next year. It like the biggest thing for me is that we actually saw gameplay. It wasn't just a trailer. Like that's just really impressive to like just a gamer, because that's the main thing everybody wants to see. Like anyone can make like a pretty souped up trailer and Adobe or whatever, but it's like I want to see game play. And they did say it's pre-alpha build, which is fine because it doesn't come out till next year. But that's all good to go. So man, I'm just really excited for that because I really like how we have. It is a Batman game, but it's a Batman game without Batman. And, everyone else, like Amanda said, like we get to play as the rest of the Bat family, and that doesn't really happen that often. So I'm so excited.
It's a perfect way to move on from the 4 Batman games they've done to expand it to the rest of the family.
Yeah,
because this is Rocksteady making. No, this is Montreal.
Rocksteady is doing the Suicide Squad game.
That's right. So I guess next up on the list, I believe one of the bigger announcements that I saw. And guys, stop me if you want to talk about literally anything at all. I'm just spitballing here, to be completely honest. We had a little bit of the Flash movie teasing like a multiverse between. We know that Ben Affleck's supposed to be making a return. Same thing with Michael Keaton. So I wanted to get your guys' thoughts on that. I guess we'll start with Leo this time.
Oh, psyched. If they do the multiverse right, I'm all in. I will say I don't really watch the Arrowverse stuff, but when I was clicking through some of the highlights of their Crisis, there were a couple of scenes that looked like they were okay. I don't really like the Arrowverse, to be honest, but I feel like if it could be executed well, I'm all for it. And getting to see 2 different versions of Batman, hey, I can't complain.
At least 2.
Yeah, at
Who
least. I
knows?
mean, we
Bring
might
back,
see
bring back
more.
Clooney, bring back Val Kilmer, the whole
I
gang.
mean, I'm a Batman fan, so if you tell me I can see multiple Batmen in one film, yeah, I'm all there for it. So I liked it.
They should make a movie called Batman.
Unite them all.
Unite them all.
Into the Batverse.
Honestly.
Yes. Amanda, what about you? Are you a big Flash fan or?
Yeah, actually, I watched the CW show when it first came out, and I loved Grant Gustin. I loved the show, and then I kind of fell off of it after the third season. The writing got really bad, and I kind of moved on from it. But I learned a lot from that show. It kind of got me to like read the comics a bit more. I'm excited. The multiverse is huge, guys. Like that's just such a big thing. And like I was listening, excuse me, sorry. I was listening to like Jim Lee and Walter Hamada talk about it, and that panel is probably like one of my favorite panels that happened yesterday, just because it was just so detailed. And they like listening to them, they kind of have such a different handle on this universe, and you can tell by the way they're talking about it. They want everything, like everything from their material, they want to put out there in whatever way that they possibly can. And I think that's going to lead to bigger and better things. It's doing something different that another comic book universe is not doing, which is a good thing. So there's no freaking comparison anymore. Oh my god. Anyways, but you get what I'm going with this. But I'm excited if the Flash gets to do that. I think he has to do it. It's his movie, and I think that introducing that in a Flash movie, the multiverse, like it's endless possibilities, man. The one thing I did love was that they said that HBO would become like a hub for all of these stories, and it will be threaded to the HBO Max shows like Green Lantern Corps or like the Gotham show for the Batman. So I think that's really cool, and you can just kind of play with anything at this point.
Okay. Well said. I'm not much of a Flash person myself. I mean, it's not that I don't like him. It's just I don't know. He never really grew on me as a character, but I'm definitely interested to see what they do with this.
Oh man, I love Flash. I just want to say, like,
Yeah.
I love Flash as a character, and I did start the CW Flash. It got to a certain episode where him and Supergirl were singing, like it was a Glee.
Oh, you
episode.
stayed
I was
until
like,
then?
I was like, I'm good.
Wow.
I'm this show.
Dedication.
Yeah, and you know, to be honest, I had already felt it was like toppling over in the third season, and then when you get to that like near end of the season where they started singing, I stopped the series completely.
You didn't like the cat singing? I'm just kidding.
Still haven't seen Cats. Still,
I had a free screener for it,
Oh,
and I was
God.
like, you know what? I'm just not gonna go.
Yeah, don't do it. I watched it out of the comfort of my home. Let's just say that.
Ugh. I thought about it. I was like, are we reviewing this? Devin's like, nope. I'm like, all right, then I'm not watching it then.
Nope.
Absolutely not. Was there anything else anyone wanted to touch on with the Flash panel at all?
I actually think it's interesting the fact that DC and Marvel are kind of both having a race to the multiverse, it seems like. We got this Flash movie and then the Doctor Strange movie. Not sure which one comes out first, but
yeah,
it's
that
cool
is
that they're
very
both tackling the multiverse.
Yeah, I'm interested to see what both sides are. And I see so many people on Twitter. They're like, "Oh my god, you know, like DC's beating Marvel." I'm like, can we just like both and be like just excited?
thank
for,
you.
What both are bringing to a table. This is huge though for DC because it's like, I mean, this type of format we have, like we said before, we've never really seen this with comic books, and I think it works. A little bit of fine tuning, I definitely think it works. Marvel didn't really show anything this year. I honestly think they kind of just literally blew their load last year. It was just like, here's everything coming out, and they have been very quiet. And it might be because of pandemic reasons, or it could be a multitude of things, but I'm just happy we're getting some type of comic book content, whether it be from either side. But just I just want people to be happy. It's like, this is a huge time to be like a comic book fan, especially a Batman fan, because we're gonna get into that later, and I'm so pumped.
Boy.
Oh, But let's move on here to the Suicide Squad. The Suicide Squad.
The other movie does not exist. Just this.
So we saw a little bit of kind of like first looks, and we had the Suicide Squad roll call. James Gunn kind of went through the entire cast and who's going to be playing who. I guess we'll start with Devin. What did you think of this panel? Were you excited?
I was pretty impressed. I mean, we know James Gunn can take weird characters that not many people have heard of and make them into a huge success. So I have confidence in him. I like the cast, even though I'm guessing half will be dead in the first 10 minutes of the movie. just how it happens. Because there's just so many. Like, you can't have that many characters in there. But yeah, looks. I don't know if you guys heard, but he mentioned that he's using the same special effects guy that for all the Marvel movies, and that guy said that this movie has more effects than all of the Marvel movies combined.
Ooh.
Which is pretty insane. Like, that's a lot of effects, a lot of explosions.
Explosions. Sorry, kind of lost my train of thought. Leo, what about you? What are your thoughts about the Suicide Squad?
I know.
I'm sorry, guys. I'm all over the place today.
No, totally. I totally get it, man. I ran that live stream yesterday, and I'm like all over the place myself.
I'm literally just zoned out. I'm like, God, there's just so much content. But yeah, sorry. Go ahead.
There's so much. But they're bringing back Viola Davis. I actually liked her as Amanda Waller, and you bring back Margot Robbie, Jai Courtney. Those are some of the cast I really liked in the first film. So I'm glad they're coming back. But we get awesome villains like Polka Dot Man and Peacemaker. King Shark is going to be in.
King Shark looked really cool.
Yeah, no, he looks so good in those behind the scenes shots. When it was freeze framed, it looked a little funny, but I like how it looks in motion. And then Michael Rooker, Savant, like there's just so many characters. And you know he's going to kill off so many of them. Yeah. like you were saying, Devin, like the first 10, 20, 30 minutes, there's going to be some heads to come off already.
We should do like a game predicting who we think is, and whoever gets the most right wins.
Cool. And how they die.
Pete Davidson, gone.
Yeah.
Nathan Fillion.
And Idris Elba as Bloodsport. I thought that was pretty much like a cool. That was a really cool.
Yeah, he said no one on the internet guessed that casting. That
I wouldn't have guessed it.
Nope. It's like, dude, I have no clue. Amanda, what about you?
Oh man, you guys are gonna
lost you there for a
no,
second.
I'm here. I'm here. I'm listening. You guys are gonna like what I gotta say. That's why I'm staying quiet. I just did not care for the Suicide Squad, guys. I don't care.
I don't care.
I'm sorry. Honest to God, like I saw James Gunn come up and I'm like, can I mute it now? Can I take a break? Yeah, I just didn't care.
My Guardian's heart is hurting.
I'm sorry. No, you know what, man? Like I love Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 1. I loved it. It's one of my like top 10 Marvel films. I just didn't like what he did in Volume 2.
I agree.
And then the stuff that has come out against him allegedly, if we're gonna say it, I just have like a bad taste in my mouth when it comes to James Gunn at this point. Just because I didn't like Volume 2, and I feel off and kind of bitter for what happened to David Ayer's Suicide Squad. Still, even though I didn't like the movie, I still think that the characters and the actors, especially Will Smith as Deadshot, like he did an incredible job, and I would have loved to seen him come back in this one or like do a standalone film for Deadshot, because there's so much to unpack, to be perfectly honest. I love that Captain Boomerang's back. He's one of my favorite villains. I love him so much. And Margot, obviously, Amanda Waller, Rick Flag, like those are the guys coming back. And
they found a Joel Kinnaman type. Good for them.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah, Joel Kinnaman type. Not Joel Kinnaman.
But yeah, like I'm excited to see Harley. I think she looks completely badass as per usual. So everything else in that movie could care less. I don't care about John Cena. I don't care
Okay,
about
I can kinda understand about the John
What was
Cena
that
thing.
costume? That was
Dude, like,
something.
polka
I can
dot
understand the
man.
John
That's
Cena
total.
thing.
That's total Peacemaker though. Like
I
that is exactly
Yeah.
how it
feel you.
looks.
I just,
True.
honest to God, if I didn't, like, if I said that I couldn't care less, like, I legit could not care less for this film. I'm kind of butthurt. I'm sorry. I'm kind of butthurt over, like, Idris Elba. Like, he's such a big star, to be perfectly honest, and, like, they just saved it for, like, the roll call in this, so it was kind of upsetting. I don't know. I don't care, guys. I'm so sorry. It's the one like panel that just pissed me off from beginning to end. So yeah.
All right. Well, Amanda's blacklisted from the podcast.
I figured. I was waiting for it.
You're totally fine. And those are all valid reasons. You know, I have a few friends who aren't crazy about the Batman. But we'll get into that a little bit later. And I was like, I know. I was like, what are you? So, like, you know, everyone's gonna like different things. Not everything is going to, you know, amuse everybody. And I feel like a lot of people kind of forget that. It's like, oh, it's a Suicide Squad. It's James Gunn. How could you not? And it's like, I mean, people have their valid concerns. So I mean, it is what it is. So yeah, let people enjoy things. That's all I gotta say. So anything else you guys want to touch on with the Suicide Squad before we move on to I guess Static Shock wasn't. I mean, it was a big announcement. I feel like
I think it got skipped over. It felt like I only saw it on Twitter. I didn't even
because I saw like a few things. I was looking through Amanda's live tweet. You know, everyone's exploding in there, and I saw like maybe one or two people was like Static Shock. I'm like, what? And I was looking all over Twitter. I didn't really see too much about it, but I mean. Would you guys want to see a Static Shock movie here in the near future?
Yes,
I would.
Of course.
Yes. Absolutely.
Cast the kid from Stranger Things, Caleb, whatever his last name is.
McLaughlin,
Ooh.
He'd be cool.
That'd be interesting.
That'd be cool.
I like that.
Someone said Jaden Smith. I was like,
No.
Nah.
No, I'm like, okay, just because the boy looks like Static Shock does not mean no, absolutely not. I'm sorry. But anything else you guys want to touch on Static Shock? Anything you would like to see if they, you know, do go forward with making a movie? The floor is open. It doesn't.
I mean, just go for it.
Yeah.
Like my thing about it is like, let's just do it. I feel like they've been talking about it for forever. They made the Black Lightning TV show, so okay, they've proven that they can make some kind of lightning character in the media work. Let's just go for it.
All right, fair enough. All right, so I guess let's get on some bigger news here. Finally, 32 minutes into the podcast, we're talking about Zack Snyder.
Oh, I thought you were going to talk about the Chris Daughtry performance. That's the biggest news, right?
Oh, wait, there's a Chris Daughtry performance?
Apparently. It was on the schedule.
Was it
I have
really?
no idea. It says,
missed it.
That was time to get dinner for all of us. So
it's like, okay, Chris Daughtry, yeah, it's time to
I was like, nah,
it's not okay. I'm sure he's a
American Idol 8th place winner.
My God.
Oh my God.
No way. He was good. He was really good, actually. I watched that season of American Idol.
He was.
He was good, but that doesn't mean we want to put him on.
The key word is was. That's a past tense. But yeah, I didn't even know that happened because I mean I knew the Justice League.
It's right here on the schedule. I mean, I don't know if it did happen. Who knows?
That just gives me flashbacks of like E3 musical performances. They try so hard to like, you know, get everyone involved, but like they just pick the most random artists. And I'm like, who are you? But it's like, I get it. You know, you got a budget. But it's like, I mean, if you can't get anyone like recognizable, I don't really think you need like a musical performance. But that's just my take. Anyway, sorry to get off track there.
Yeah, that was my fault. I just had to bring that up.
No, it's all good. He said Chris Daughtry. I'm like, wait, is he messing with him? Like, I felt like I did see something about that on the schedule, but I thought I just like misread something. But nope, I guess
it's like a fever dream.
So on my live stream, I didn't know that was up, and I was following Amanda's Twitter feed, and I seen some stuff about Daughtry, and I'm like, huh?
Like who? Oh, that guy from American Idol, like 1,000 years ago.
Let's keep on chapping up about
who?
So funny,
oh my God, you reached back for that one.
Yeah, Ruben Studdard.
Oh my
man.
God. I
Clay
believe.
Aiken.
Clay Aiken.
Oh my God.
Yes. Oh,
Kelly
geez.
Clarkson, folks.
Yes. OG Queen.
Oh,
Yeah.
Josie. Yeah, Kelly. And Carrie Underwood as well. I forgot
Yes.
about her
True,
too.
true,
It's been
true.
God, it's been forever.
My
It's just
God.
like, wow, we're old. Crap.
We are.
Oh well. Well,
Sad.
it looks like the Justice League is making a rebirth. Of course, we all know
Woo!
about the Zack Snyder's Justice League has been announced that it will be a 4-hour miniseries. Each episode will be an hour long. And I got to say really quick, I got to give props to Devin because he called this on our podcast a few weeks ago. Because I thought originally, they're just going to pump it out all at once, let everyone enjoy it. And he's like, no, I think
They got to make the money.
Yeah, they got to make the money. You got to get people invested. It's like, hey, we got the Zack Snyder Justice League. It's going to be coming out, more than likely each episode per week to keep people invested. And while you're at it, you can find other things to watch in HBO.
And forget to cancel your subscription.
There you go.
If that was your plan.
But wanted to go around the podcast really quick. I know Amanda is probably the most excited out of all of us, so I'm going to let her go first. Get it all out there. No, it's fine. But yeah, go ahead. And so I know that I think really quick, I think when Leo was live streaming, I put in his chat that the trailer got leaked.
Mm-hmm.
And I watched it like super early in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't know. And Devin, I shared it to Devin. I wasn't sure if it was real or not because it was just on some random dude's account. Like I thought it was just like a random fan trailer. But sorry, I'm done talking. Amanda, go ahead.
No, it's okay. I'm happy you actually brought that up because it was really frustrating because the first thing that we saw in the morning was like, oh, Zack Snyder's footage got leaked. And we're like, are you kidding? Like, we waited so long. Today's the day. And like, who the hell would like leak this? Like, I was so upset.
No.
You know what? I kind of believe
the
it.
information out there. I'm sorry.
I kind of believe it. No, I'm joking. No, I got so upset. I'm like, we waited so long. But you know what? That panel, it was okay. I'm not saying it was the best panel because it wasn't. We knew what was coming. I think it's just because I have followed it for the past 4 years that it was really emotional for me. To see Ben come back and answer questions, to see Henry come back, and Ray Fisher and Ezra. I'm kind of pissed off that Jason didn't show up for like his Aquaman panel too. I was like, why aren't you present, dude? Like, I don't understand. Yeah. And then what's her name? And Gal came in. But it was just great to see their faces and kind of like praising Zach and then Zach answering fan questions. It was really emotional. Just to see, because he kind of got teary-eyed as well speaking to the fans. So that was really awesome to see because it's been a journey. I actually wrote an article about the Snyder Cut journey over at Candid Cinema. And it was, writing about it and going back and just experiencing it all over again. Like, we've got hatred coming from all angles. And the fans really just push this for Warner Brothers. And I think seeing that trailer with just Zach's footage and having that Hallelujah in the background, I didn't like the song choice at first, but I respected him for it because I knew that he wanted to do that for the fans as like a thank you. It's like, thank Christ we got this out for him. So no, it was emotional. The Black Suit Superman, Darkseid was cool as shit. Like, they were all amazing. And the final shot of the Justice League, I started crying like instantly. And then Batfleck at the end, like saying he's never faced us, not us united, bawled my eyes out. I'm not joking. I fell to the floor. Like, I was sobbing. And you guys are probably like, what? Why would she cry over this? But it's like, after 4 years, man, like, just to see the footage, see Ray Fisher's Cyborg the way he was intended, to see Ezra Miller's Flash in the Speed Force, like, it was just, oh my God, it was amazing. And I loved every second of it. I know people are still like negative towards it, but I was just over the moon happy. I loved it so much, and I love Zach so much.
All right, so I think we'll just end the podcast there because I don't think anyone
perfect ending.
Perfect ending. All right, everyone, thanks for coming on. Leo, what about you, man?
Sorry.
No, it's all good.
Um,
It's all. I'll share my thoughts last, of course. But Leo, you have the floor.
I think I'm probably gonna be in the minority here.
I might
Look,
be
the
right there
Jason,
with you, man.
right? Look,
I'm gonna cry. I'm ready to cry again, guys.
as the resident Marvel fan on the panel, no, Jason Momoa not being present was definitely felt. Henry Cavill was shooting from what looked like a prison yard, so he's probably filming something. And I'm like, all right,
Probably.
so if he's shooting, like if he's participating and possibly, on the job, what's Jason Momoa doing? So
He's
that was
in
definitely weird.
the ocean. Right? there's no cameras
Atlantis.
there.
Couldn't get the reception. God damn
Very
it.
bad
But
reception.
Amazing.
Notorious.
I love it.
But look, a lot of people were saying like Snyder was being praised and this and that. And for me, I kind of felt like it was a moment when these people were like incredibly happy. Like I'm talking to people who have been supporting the Snyder cut since its inception. So I guess like they were just incredibly happy and just kind of happy to meet what I guess will be their idol at this point. But when I seen the trailer, that's what I was most excited for. Man, there was just nothing that really, I guess, grabbed me. Like there were a couple of different details. Like I love the shot at the end of it with all of them like looking over the cliff there. But I mean, I don't know. Like I watched that trailer. I didn't like the music. Still don't. I did like the visuals. Visually, it was beautiful. But nothing really got me super hyped up for it. I guess I'm in the minority here. I wasn't really a huge fan of it. I didn't get anything out of it. Really.
Well, I'm going to join you and make it not a minority, I guess, because that's exactly how I feel.
Oh man.
The
I'm already crying. It's great.
Like,
biggest,
you invite me on this podcast and you're just gonna talk about sex?
My God.
Go ahead,
the biggest
Devin.
thing for me was that song choice. I was like, what are we doing here?
Yeah.
Like here's our big team up action superhero movie. Let's choose the slowest song we know. Here you go.
You guys didn't like the 4:3 aspect ratio? The old screen TV? You think it's gonna be shot like that on HBO Max? I'm just kidding.
I'd be down.
Probably not. Actually, it's whatever. I'm so used to both. But sorry, Devin, go ahead.
I will say the movie overall does look like it's been improved pretty greatly. Just even visually, it's not a rainbow anymore like the original one. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess another big thing for me is how can you fix Steppenwolf? Like it was so bad. I mean, I know Darkseid's coming in and that's going to be really cool, but Steppenwolf was the main guy. I don't know how they can really fix that.
They're gonna fix him. Don't worry.
Hopefully.
He has a whole year. Like they're gonna fix
that's
him.
another thing. We don't like we still know, so we get the episodic part. I'm actually kind of happy about that. I'm not gonna lie.
Me too.
Yeah, very
Like,
happy they did that.
I mean, like Avengers Endgame, that's one thing. That's a culmination of all these movies. But it's weird because like I will sit there and watch all the Lord of the Rings extended, no problem whatsoever, as long as they are. I love every second of those movies. But it's like for some reason it's like, ooh, like if this is a 4 hour, I don't think that would have sat well with not even just the Zack Snyder fans. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the casual or the average streamer. It's like, this is Zack Snyder's Justice League. I've heard a little bit about this, and they click on it. Ooh, 4 hours. Wow, that's a commitment. Like it really is. Even with like The Irishman, I like The Irishman, but like I definitely had to watch that movie in chunks because it's like,
oh my God,
wow,
my heart, you're killing me.
It wasn't
a
bad movie.
You're killing me.
I'll stay for Zack Snyder's Justice League because at first, people have been, asking for this for years. It did I thought it looked good. I wasn't a fan of the song that they used, but after Amanda said, he wanted to have that type of, thank God that this was, happening, then we can kind of, go forward. Lots happened to his family, since then. I mean, I'm excited to see it. I don't know how much better it's going to be. Like, I'm kind of just waiting just to see when it comes out because I really wish we would have gotten an actual release date. because like 2021, that can be December, November next year.
For real.
So it's like,
apparently they said it was summer 2021 from what I saw on my timeline. I'm not 100% sure. That could have been for another release date, but I think it was summer 2021.
Okay.
That would make sense.
I think.
Yeah, it would. Give us something to do. I mean, if we're still in quarantine or not, I don't know.
Oh, God. Oh, God.
Don't say that.
I'm sorry.
Dude.
But yeah, I mean, overall, like the main thing I wanted to know was if it was going to be episodic or a 4-hour movie. And I'm really glad, like I said, it's episodic. It's been a very long time since I've seen, I guess people now are calling it the Justice League.
That doesn't exist. It doesn't exist.
I have a 4K copy in my living room. That's
your fault. That sounds like a you problem because I didn't purchase it. So
I bought it for $10. I didn't see it in theaters. I never saw it in theaters. Devin told me it's bad. And I was like, okay, I won't see it. And then I was just, moseying on through Best Buy. I'm like, ooh, Justice League for $10. I'm like, I heard this movie was bad, but I'm still going to check it out. And I was like, like it wasn't really for me. Obviously the mustache fiasco.
Mustache
cake.
Nah, but I heard yesterday that Zach also added that he's going to try to do like an international release on a DVD or like a box set or something. So people who don't have HBO Max, because it's only for the States right now. Right. And like parts, I only I'm in Canada and they only have the HBO Max original series that I can watch and not the actual library. So he did say on the panel yesterday that he was going to try to do like a DVD or like a package of the 4 episodes, so it can ship internationally for people.
That's nice. And if I enjoy this enough, I definitely will buy a physical copy if it comes to the States for sure. Because I'm a big physical collector, and for whatever reason, Warner Brothers doesn't know how to keep half of their freaking properties on HBO Max sometimes. Yeah. I'm like, how do you have Harry Potter? Nobody knew it was going to be on there. It's like, surprise, Harry Potter's on HBO Max. And then it's like, only until like the end of August, though. I think it actually removes on like the 28th or 26th. So if you don't have the Harry Potter movies, you got some kind of time left to watch them. But I was like, what? And then they're going to Peacock or something like that. I was like, oh my God, that's even worse. But that's fine.
Peacock's not half bad. It's got a decent
I haven't
library.
really checked into it. I have like an Xfinity account and I tried to get like the free premium one. And it's like, oh, your account that you have does not, meet the requirements. I'm like, do you know how much I pay for internet per month?
you know who I am?
Do you know who I am?
It's free though. You can get a free version.
It is free. I definitely need to check it out. And Devin and I were actually supposed to do a review on it, but we just never really got around to it. So I'll have to. We'll see. I've been watching Doom Patrol, so that's kind of where my mind is right now.
So
I just finished season 1, so it's very good. Yeah. So was there anything else anyone wanted to touch on the Zack Snyder Justice League? I know Amanda pretty much stole the show there with her moving speech.
I just want to say that it does look better than the 2017 version. I'll give it that. It definitely looks like it's going to be better than that. But I don't know. I'm hoping it's at least in the upper tier of the DCEU. If not, then I guess we got better than what we had before.
We'll
Don't
see.
you worry.
I mean, I put like an article ranking list out, and I was like, I don't know how many people are going to read this, but I mean, it is what it is because it's like half of the DC EU I like, the other half not so much. I'm hoping this falls into the part where I actually like it. But let's move on here to I guess it was like a teaser trailer for Black Any Shazam fans in the house here?
Yeah.
Shazam is underrated. It's a gem.
Hell yeah.
It is a gem.
Yes.
It is.
Hell yes.
Yeah.
That heart and humor. Perfect.
It was perfect. Like I absolutely love that movie. I was like, okay, this is kind of the DC movie I was looking for.
Yeah.
Except for the weird demon murders in the office building. That was little off.
Hey, man,
very tone deaf.
That building.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean the demons looked very generic, but I really did enjoy that film. It was very heartwarming. I think it's like the perfect holiday movie, to be honest.
Yes, it is a Christmas movie.
And it came out in the summer. It was so weird.
It
It was like
Yeah.
a Christmas movie.
That thing is a Christmas movie. I don't care.
It is a
Literally.
Christmas movie.
Wasn't it
Yeah.
supposed to be released around
guessing.
November, I think?
I
And
think
it got
so.
pushed back?
I think so. Yeah, if I remember.
I think the only announcement they had for this was the title, right? Fury of the
Yeah.
Gods. Sounds very cool.
So
And
excited.
Sinbad popping into
Oh,
the...
Is he
God.
actually in it, or is that just
Yeah.
a
I
joke?
really hope he's actually in it.
Nah,
Like,
he's in it, man. There has to be.
oh my God. Yes.
I'm
Kazam
hoping.
returns.
Woo!
Even though that's Shaq.
Yeah. They can get an appearance from Shaq. He always takes cameos from everyone. So
It'd be so
Yeah.
funny.
As Devin knows, I have a weird, I wouldn't call it hatred, a weird dislike towards
it's
The
a
Rock.
hatred. He hates
It's
The
not
Rock.
a
He hates
hatred.
America's sweetheart.
Oh,
To be fair-
man.
No, but to
Oh
be
my
fair,
God.
I agree with him because I wasn't sold on the Black Adam casting until his panel yesterday.
Oh my God.
Yeah, like
yes.
it looks good. I was like, okay, like
Yeah.
this, but it's like skyscraper. I mean,
Yeah.
Jumanji's Jumanji, but
Love Jumanji.
Yo, that Hobbs and Shaw.
I
that's
liked Hobbs
pretty
and Shaw.
Awesome.
I
love that.
I did like Hobbs and Shaw, but it's weird with me. I don't know what it is. I just feel like he's. I don't know. I feel like a lot of people treat him more like an A-list actor more than everything else. Like I would put him in like B minus C plus. Like he's not
Ooh.
bad. Like he's
Damn.
good. He's
He's
entertaining to watch.
typecast though. That's the issue. So I feel like with The Rock, he plays himself doing
Mhm.
badass things.
Yeah.
And he hasn't really delivered a performance, and I think that's what I've been struggling with to process him as Black Adam, because obviously like you look at him, he looks like a freaking superhero, like there's no doubt
Yeah.
about it. It's just the fact that he's been typecast to play the exact same like characters, so that's the issue that I see with other people complaining about him too.
When I saw Hawkman and Dr. Fate,
Ooh.
and that's when I started
yeah.
getting like psyched.
Same.
Like when you start telling me we're gonna start connecting Zatanna and all the magical characters of the DC comics, like, oh my God, that's when I started really investing in it. Like, and I'll admit, even the initial kind of like that motion comic he was doing for like that tease, I like that. Like
Boss
it
Logic,
looked pretty
baby.
cool. Yeah,
Yeah.
Boss Logic. So
hey,
I
he's the thumbnail on this podcast. So it shows
There you
one of
go.
his,
hey, right
nice artwork
on.
there. Yeah.
And I think The Rock kept the energy going throughout the whole thing, through all the different teases. And for a 10-minute panel, I thought it was pretty good.
Yeah.
It got me hyped for Black Adam. I was like, what is this panel going to be? And then afterward, I liked it.
I guess my main concern is what the supporting cast is going to be, because they only showed Noah deep tweets sent to Neo, so I don't really know.
Oh, Noah Centimeter? Yeah.
I don't know who else they can get in there, but he's not
That
quite
guy.
gonna pull the weight of a supporting cast, so they need to see who else they can get.
Yeah, I don't like
Yeah.
him. I'm sorry, guys. Not sold on
I'm
him.
actually glad we're
Ooh.
talking about this because I completely missed this panel. Like I literally looked up. I was like, okay, what happened with Shazam? I'm like, oh, that's a trailer. Watch. I'm like, okay, that's pretty cool. I didn't watch the panel myself because I was out and about. So, but yeah,
They
I'm glad
pretty
we're
much
talking
just
about.
teased the JSA and showed Noah Centimeter and
It's gonna catch on, guys. It's gonna
Noah
catch on.
CM. Last name is just a CM. Like something.
hopefully it'll be a better character than that awful Charlie's Angels character
Oh
he
my
had.
God.
I'm smart and like science.
That's
That's all it was.
so terrible.
Yeah.
Yeesh.
I can't get over the fact that Elizabeth Banks. Wait, that's her last name? Yeah. I'm sorry. Like I said, out of it today. I didn't like how she was like trying to blame her audience on that movie. I was just like, come on. Like, I mean, if people like it, they like it. If not, you can't like blame them for going to wanting to see your movie and then not liking it for a reasonable, reason, not because, I hate women or whatever, but whatever. So I wanted to move on to we have any Titans fans in the house? I just want to get it out there. I'm not sure.
I
got through season 1.
Yeah, same. I got through season 1 and then
Yeah, I haven't been on it.
I got through the trailer and that was it.
Yeah.
When he said "fuck Batman," I turned it off. I'm not here for that edginess. I can't handle it.
I watched a lot of High Top Films videos about. I'm not sure if you guys know who he is. YouTuber, big DC guy. Loves Spider-Man. He'll like defend the Sam Raimi trilogy, Spider-Man, to like the ends of the earth. But I watched both of his videos for season 1 and season 2 of Titans, and because I never really watched it because it was on DC Universe, so it's like I'm not going to pay an extra $8 to watch like a subpar show that like I saw so many like mixed reviews over. But but apparently there's like a blue tent in like season 1, and it's even bluer in season 2. Or I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. I'm not entirely sure, but
It's true.
it didn't really look that interesting to me. I was like, I just want my Teen Titans back.
Thank you.
So,
give us that animated version back. Just give us another season of that and end it properly.
Right. I will say Teen Titans Go to the Movies is one of my favorite animated films of that year.
It is good.
I loved it.
It was good.
It was actually our first movie we ever reviewed back when, like, you can't find it on the podcast now because it's only up on YouTube. So maybe I'll upload it as like a bonus video back when we were under a different name. But yeah, that was the first review Devin and I did. It was fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I think they talked about the Flash TV panel, didn't they? I think I missed that. I don't know.
I kept it on.
I missed that.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So let's just skip right over it, shall we?
Yeah.
It's like, the Flash. And really quick, they were talking about Ezra Miller, and I don't really care for Ezra Miller all that much, but like it's one of the I don't know if it was like the director or someone who was working on the project with Ezra Miller. They're like, oh, he was born to play this role. I was like, born to play this role? I'm like, let's not go that far. Like, I'm sure we can find a better Flash alternative or a different Flash alternative if we really needed to. But
wait, were we talking about the Flash TV show or the movie panel?
Oh, the movie.
I caught the movie panel.
Oh,
I like,
okay.
yeah. I thought you meant the Flash TV show. My bad.
I was originally talking about the Flash TV show. Then I'm sorry, that was my fault for not segueing, over from TV to movie. But yeah, I didn't catch the Flash TV panel at all. I've never seen the Flash TV show, so I just didn't watch it. But moving on here to Aquaman 2. Was there a lot of news with that? Because I feel like that was something I also missed.
That was more like a discussion. It wasn't really even like anything. I wouldn't say there was much about Aquaman 2.
Yeah.
I mean, James Wan and Patrick Wilson were just kind of reflecting over the time they had from Aquaman.
Okay.
Yeah.
And to be honest, I wasn't really listening in, but it sounds like there's some stuff they'll be doing together in 2.
Was Jason Momoa part of this one? Or
nope.
Oh, that's weird.
Wasn't there? I was like,
what was weird.
Yeah.
Like, it's
so
panel. They also
He's busy being Frosty the Snowman, I guess.
Yeah, oh my God. Oh my God. Also, like, they didn't mention the Trench movie either.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that.
How do you guys feel about the Trench? And how do you guys feel about Aquaman, the movie? Okay, Devin,
Yeah, go ahead, man.
Well, Christian and I are notorious for just not liking the original Aquaman movie at all. We like text each other while we were watching it in theaters. Like,
we got advanced screenings, and Devin's like, "This is really boring." And then I was like, I couldn't get into it. I literally just could not. So, I mean, where do you guys normally fall when it comes to Aquaman?
I liked it. Didn't love it though. I mean, I didn't go back to it. I haven't seen it again. So, but I enjoyed like the Atlantis experience. I thought that looked awesome. I like Black Manta, but I mean, it was just really jam packed. And I don't know. I wasn't really that into it. I don't know. I liked it, didn't love it.
Yeah, I'm kind of with Leo on that. I watched it once in theaters and like I bought it. I know that like my family members loved it more than I did, but I think just because it was I felt like it was just a generic origin story. again. Like they didn't really do anything different other than like the horror elements, which is like really cool that they brought. And like James Wan, visually, it was just a stunning movie.
It was.
Like the colors, the cinematography, it was just really well done. And I kind of liked the special effects up until the third act, because that's when usually like everything falls apart in comic book movies. If you really look at it, it's always the third act. Like, oh my god! And
Oh, Black
everyone has,
Panther.
yeah, exactly,
Wonder Woman.
exactly
Woman,
what I'm
yeah.
saying. Yeah. So everyone just kind of says something about the third act of the last fight and like all that. And it's like, yeah, well, it's kind of a staple now. So you either got to get on board or like what are you going to do at this point? They're not going to get better with them. If you really look at it, it's not going to get better. It's going to be pretty much the same. Because they've done it for what, the past 11 years? Has it improved? No. So yeah, like it's just the fact that Aquaman had that. It was good, but I like Leo. Like I'm not going to go back and watch it again, and I don't know why. It's like one of those movies where like, yeah, it was good, and then you're like, oh, okay,
Yeah.
cool, like it's there. Like I'm just not going to go back. But Aquaman in like a Justice League film, I'm there for it.
Sure. Yeah.
And I think it's just the difference in director and the difference in characterization in that kind of mix. I'm tired of like the standalone movies with DC. I want the league.
Oh man.
No, like I want the league in that case. I want to see them more because I loved it as a kid watching the animated series, right? And I think that's where my love for the Justice League came. And yeah, that's me for Aquaman. Yeah.
All right, I feel it. Really quick, I wanted to. I guess this was kind of mentioned during the Harley Quinn show panel. They're not certain if season 3 is coming, and that makes me really worried because I like loved that show. As soon as it came on HBO Max, I was like, Devin, I gotta watch the show. Like it's fantastic. And they're like, well, we're not sure if we're doing a season 3. I'm like, I really hope you do because I just fell in love with it. It's a great story, concise story between both seasons. It's not just random wacky episodes with like just Harley Quinn stapled onto it. Like it tells like an honest story, and that's what I really liked about it. But any Harley Quinn show fans in the house? No.
I love it so much.
Okay.
Yeah. Go ahead, Leo.
Okay.
Go ahead.
No. I'll let you go first this time.
No, I just love that they focus on Harley and Ivy's relationship. It's just so out there, and it's just Harley in her element. Like it's so wild. It's funny as hell. I laughed straight through all those episodes. I binge watched it in a day. Like it's so good. And Kaylee Cuoco's voice acting, like God tier. It's so good. I love it.
Yeah. Anytime I hear her voice, of course I think of Penny from Big Bang Theory. It's one of my favorite sitcoms. But yeah, it was at first I was like, I felt like it kind of took me out. I was like, no, this works. It's just, I'm used to seeing her or hearing her voice attached to different characters. So I guess we'll move on really quick. We have a few more things we wanted to cover here, and then I wanted to kind of open up if you guys wanted to talk about anything else that happened, during yesterday's or Saturday's events, because this is going to be dropping on Monday, just so I can clean it up a bit and post. But the Suicide Squad Kills the Justice League trailer. We've got another video game trailer here. What are you guys' thoughts about this? I guess we'll start with Devin since he's been quiet there for a while.
Yeah, it looked really interesting. Like that's the most I came away with it. They didn't really go over like the mechanics or anything or how the game actually is gonna work, but just the idea of being the Suicide Squad and like trying to hunt the Justice League is a very cool concept. Not sure how it's gonna work, but we'll see.
Yeah, because this is coming from Rocksteady, which people know they made the Batman Arkham games. But Leo, what were your thoughts? I know they did like a little bit of like an encore for a lot of the panel, so they might have gone more into depth than what I initially saw myself. But Leo, what were your thoughts?
I liked the trailer. I thought that those moments alone really resembled a good Suicide Squad, much better than the movie did, the original film for the DCEU. Mm-hmm. But look, I didn't really get a good look at the gameplay.
Yeah, that's what I was.
I figured they could have. What I thought they could have done is maybe just had like a quick 5-minute trailer drop for this one, then move on. Don't need
Yeah,
really
it's
any
not out till
discussion.
2022, so they probably just
Exactly.
didn't even have anything ready for it.
Without any gameplay, I just wasn't really super hyped. I mean,
Yeah,
hey,
they
the
gave us
voice
like a
acting's
poster,
great.
but
Tara
like no
Strong.
gameplay.
Yeah.
It was weird. Oh, sorry, Leo. Go ahead. I didn't mean to cut you off.
No problem. Yeah, Tara Strong, voice acting, thought that was great. But again, no gameplay, so couldn't get too hyped. We'll see.
Yeah. Amanda, what about you?
It looked pretty good. It didn't get me as hyped as Gotham Knights did. But like I said, I'm kind of tired of the Suicide Squad in all venues. There's so many other characters that they can kind of bring into video game. You know what I mean? Or like even on screen. So I feel like they're just beating like a dead horse at this point with the Suicide Squad, especially because like you have like Harley and Injustice, and you could kind of like put some of those characters in Injustice as well. So yeah, like it's there. It looks cool. I can't wait for the gameplay if they do release it eventually. And yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I'm kind of in the same camp. I mean, I know I don't sound super excited for this, but I mean, based off everyone else's answers, I'm like, yeah, I pretty much feel the same way. I mean, it looks cool. I definitely feel like they're trying to salvage, especially after with David Ayer's cut of the Suicide Squad. They're like, no, like they're really good. It's like, yeah, they are. I mean, there's a lot of Suicide Squad animated movies out there. I liked Hell to Pay was really good. And then I think this Batman Assault on Arkham was actually pretty interesting as well. But yeah, I mean, it looks cool. King Shark looks pretty sweet as well. So I'm just, in the trailer they show, Superman. Something's wrong with him, obviously, but just gotta find out why. But yeah, like Devin said, it's not coming out till 2022, so I can't really put this on my radar right now.
Yeah, not enough room.
Yeah, but
the grand finale.
We have the Batman. The Batman.
Didn't know Bane was making an appearance.
That was amazing.
I'm really glad that they put like Tom Hardy's like Bane voice in Harley Quinn show. By the way, I thought that was really awesome. I was like, okay, this is great. But yes, we have Robert Pattinson, aka Robert Pattinson, as the Batman. We got our first official trailer. Oh man, it's just beautiful. I'll let Amanda take the reins and
oh my God.
give your thoughts.
Okay, so I'm gonna be honest here, like I always am. I was not sold on Robert Pattinson. I wasn't sold on Robert Pattinson as the Batman. I loved every single casting choice in that movie. I didn't hate Robert Pattinson. It's just the fact that I needed to see him in action. And I think that people kind of like misunderstood me when I said that I was indifferent. Like I didn't want to talk about it. Because if you notice any kind of Batman news, like I stayed quiet on Twitter. So seeing the panel with Matt Reeves sold me that movie. Everything so passionate. It was like his freaking he wrote an essay and he's just like, I'm gonna express this right now. So I felt like he was holding that in for like ages, and I'm really happy that he was just so detailed in what he wanted to do, and you can see that he has a clear cut vision for this film. And then when we saw the trailer, like the second it started, like this is nothing like this isn't anything like we've seen before.
Yep.
Like you could see the tone was different. Just having like Commissioner Gordon like at the front and center. Jeffrey Wright looks absolutely amazing. It was just more like there were horror elements. It looks darker, and everyone's like, "But a Batman's always dark." I'm like, I understand, but the tone of this film is just different. Like you feel it in that trailer, and I think that's what got me so amped, just because you know and you feel it, like that gut feeling. And I thought it was amazing. He looks good in the cowl. I hate his hair. I hate it. I know I'm nitpicking, but it reminded me of Tobey Maguire from Spider-Man 3. Okay, I'm
Oh.
Why you had to
sorry.
bring that up?
I have to because it's
Blocked
there.
from my memory.
It's
No.
there. I'm sorry, but I don't want the hair. I don't. And if I have to watch the entire movie and he has that haircut, it's gonna bother me. Oh my god.
Oh, come
So
on.
like, it is gonna bother me, man. I hope he stays with the freaking suit on the whole time, or else I'm gonna
The
get
whole
mad.
time?
The whole time. I don't care.
No,
But
Bruce?
yeah, well, he has
No,
to look
Bruce?
better. If he gels it back, hopefully, my God, like please. Selena looks amazing. Um, Also not sold on her costume, but obviously she's starting out, and I think that's cool in that way. The one thing that I loved about this trailer was the fight scene. And I know you guys are going to comment on it as well, but when he was punching the living daylights out
Those
of that
bone
guy,
crunches.
those bone
Love that.
punches, the punches were connecting. The sound design, I was telling Leo
Yes.
yesterday,
It was
because
good
we were talking about it, and the sound design, holy Lord, is it going to be freaking fire. I'm so excited. But yeah, I'm amped. That trailer, oh my God, like 0 to 100 real quick yesterday.
Yes.
And the thing is, that's 25% of the entire movie. That is so insane to think about.
Exactly.
They were able to get out a very successful trailer with only a fourth of the movie. It's insane.
Yeah. Leo, what about you? Your thoughts?
Well, kind of piggybacking off of what Manda said with the sound design, when the trailer started and you heard the tape ripping and the logo like
Yep.
zooming in, I was like,
Yeah.
what are we in for? Like, it seriously was beyond my expectations, like far beyond. Look, I have been following this movie. I was actually excited about Robert Pattinson playing Batman after seeing Good Time and seeing him in movies like High Life and the recent one with Will Dafoe, The Lighthouse.
Yeah, I
like
wanted to say if there's people who hate Robert Pattinson and they've only seen Twilight, you're wrong. Just
Yeah.
Yeah.
try something else. He's
Yeah,
been great in
literally
so many
anything
other
else.
things.
I would suggest Good Time. Like, see him
Yeah.
in something that he's completely different from Edward in, and he just does a completely amazing job. But I love this trailer. I mean, the beginning of it when the different shots were taking all these different clues, and then Commissioner Gordon shows the envelope, and you see Batman in the suit. It's just like
He
nowhere
looks
but up
so
from
good in
there.
that
He
suit. I
looks
was
so
like,
good.
yo, what is this? Like, is this real right now? Like,
I thought it looked so good, and even in freeze frames, I still think it looks good, and it does kind of look like a year 2 suit, like a beginning of Batman fit. Like, it looks like right around that time. So I love that. I mean, we got to talk about that fight scene. Amazing. The bone cracking sounds, beating the guy to a pulp, and then you get the shot of the other guys are about to try to take him down, and they're just looking in fright. This is the Batman we've been
Literally.
wanting. Somebody who
Yes.
frightens, who terrifies. And not to mention, we also get to see him do the detective work. I love seeing him in that scene with Commissioner Gordon. By the way, Jeffrey Wright looks amazing as Commissioner Gordon. Can't wait for that. But man, 0 to 100. This was amazing. And I got to say, the panel, Matt Reeves, I was a little bit tired, so I was kind of in and out. Like some of the stuff he was saying, I caught some, I didn't, but you could tell he was passionate. Like the whole time he was talking about this, he was definitely saying this is something you've never seen before quite a bit. As that had me very excited. Like, okay, this is a world that he really is passionate about and crafted and took time to really make unique from the other Batman movies. So I'm beyond excited, man. I can't wait for this.
Yeah. Now he's got all the time in the world because of COVID. So take your time.
Cries. Internally
Yeah.
cries.
Devin, what about you?
So much
Pretty
hype.
much-
So much hype. Like Leo said, this is the Batman we need. Like we've never had a crime solving like detective mystery Batman movie. Like it's been like that in the games, but to get a movie like that, I was getting like David Fincher, like Seven, Zodiac vibes from this. And that's like really exciting. I'm just so pumped. That Batmobile too. Oh
I
my!
know. I was like, let's go. I tweeted earlier. I was like, oh, Robert Pattinson, greater than Ben Affleck. Obviously, that is completely premature because
I
we
saw
haven't
that
seen.
tweet.
Yeah.
Saw it.
My boyfriend, he was like, "How could you say that?" He
I
tweeted at me.
called you out. I'm joking.
Well, my friend texted me. He's like, "Really, man? Are you serious?" I'm like, "Dude, it's just a tweet." Like, this movie does not come out until Halloween of next year.
Mhm.
So it's like we have so much time between now and then. Like, a lot can change, but I mean, this is not Reese we're talking about. So it's like, I mean, I don't see my. Like I said, it's all up in the air. It is what it is. I just felt like tweeting it just to tweet it. I wasn't really trying to quote unquote indirectly start something one of my friends because he was like really mad. I'm like, dude, I was literally just messing around. Like, I mean, it could be good, it could be bad. It was, and we've gotten amazing trailers before. Suicide Squad trailer was like definitely still one of my favorite trailers ever. But it's like we all know how that movie is. But from what we've seen, 20% is only done. So we just have to keep our ears to the ground and see what's up there.
Was it confirmed that was Colin Farrell's penguin in that shot with all the face makeup and stuff?
I see people saying that all over Twitter, but I haven't seen
who else
anybody
could it be.
Say. I don't know.
I honestly don't know. Someone had brought up some actor. I can't remember his name though. I saw it on Twitter earlier today, but I can't find the tweet. But the trailer was exquisite for sure. But that's pretty much everything I had planned to cover. But I kind of wanted to open up the floor really quick. If there was like any other panels, non-trailer panels you guys wanted to talk about. But the floor is yours.
Let's not forget about Shazam. Now that panel was pretty awesome.
Didn't see it.
Oh, you did, man. That was a good panel, actually.
So
I thought it was kind of like Fandome at that point had kind of started like winding down just a little bit, and that brought the energy back into the room. Like Zach Levi was like really funny. The cast, they had really energy together back and forth. And then there was a Sinbad reveal. That was hilarious. I don't know if he's actually going to be in the movie, but people always remember him in Kazam, and so they put that in there. And I just thought that it was like a really snappy, fun panel. They kept the energy going. The questions were quick, and the reveals were really cool. Like we got the title, Fury of the Gods.
Is so cool.
Yeah, I'm so psyched. And then a poster reveal apparently, but I would love to have that poster, but that was just a really good panel. I thought the energy between the cast was great. I would have loved to see maybe one little snippet of Shazam too, but hey, I know they haven't started, so.
I know. I love them.
Amanda, anything you wanted to bring to the table?
Oh man. No, I think we covered like everything. I love the Zack Snyder panel, obviously, but honest to God, the Batman stole the freaking show yesterday. And like, I think after watching that trailer, and then I did a live stream right after, I did not sleep. I couldn't go back to sleep. I went to bed at like 2. Leo and I were talking until I think like 2, 3 in the morning because we got our second wind. Like we just, oh my God, it just re-energized us and it was crazy. So we just had to catch up and everything. But yeah, I'm like so exhausted from yesterday. It was so like I'm exhausted because the whole week, like we were prepping stuff. Like I know that we were all nervous to get our stuff out, article wise, live reaction wise. We're trying so freaking hard. And like, I think the week leading up to it was more stressful than the actual event because we didn't know what to expect on that day. But it's like a wedding. You're prepping for a wedding. And then everything goes well and you're just like, oh, that actually happened yesterday. Like, okay, cool.
Anyone here married? Yes. No,
I'm not. I'm just saying like that's what it felt like, this big freaking event, and then you're just exhausted for like a week later.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I've definitely had that before. It's just everything hits you at once and then you're like, oh, I feel fine, and then it's like a delayed effect, and you're just like, oh wow, that was a lot of information actually.
Yeah.
It takes your brain a little bit to process. Devin, was there anything you wanted to cover before we wrap up here?
Shout out Chris Daughtry.
My God. Chris Daughtry.
And Clay Aiken and Ruben Studdard.
Oh, Ruben Studdard. Wow. Man, yeah, that was ages ago. But I believe that concludes our recap event of DC Fandom Part 1, of course. I would love to have you guys back on for Part 2 if you're free, of course. I think the next event for the multiverse or the Watch First is in September or something like that. I can't remember. I think September 12th.
I
don't know.
Yeah, September 12th.
Yeah.
Something like that. But yeah, I mean, as is, if you guys are free, we would love to definitely have you guys back on. But like I said, that does conclude our coverage of DC Fandom that happened this past Saturday. I wanted to go around the podcast so everyone can put in their social plugs, let us know what's coming up on your channel, any articles you're writing. So I guess we'll start with Leo.
Yeah, come on over to youtube.com/Geeky Goods, guys. We actually did a 9-hour stream yesterday covering Fandom pretty much from beginning to end. I mean, we started a little bit late on the Flash panel and ended at the Batman, and you could just kind of see our reactions and stuff in some of the latest videos. But coming up, we got Lovecraft Country tonight. We're gonna have a review there. I mean, wow.
Wicked show.
That first episode. Oh boy.
Episode 2 is crazy, Leo. Brace yourself.
I'm so excited. And then I'm gonna dig into Raised by Wolves. I'm gonna have a review of the first 6 episodes of that on Thursday. And then also on Friday, I might go see the New Mutants. So might be there. We'll see. And then Thursday, I have a live stream as well. We're going to be recapping the DC Fandome on Thursday. So come on over, guys.
All right. Amanda, what about you?
Well, you guys can find me at AMXNDA Reviews on Twitter, Instagram, and Letterboxd. I recently just started my own YouTube channel called Candid Cinema. I do movie reviews over there and some live streams because I love talking to everybody in the comments. Right now, I kind of have, I've been doing a Nolan marathon, and I've had this like video essay planned for like a while now. I don't know how much of it I'm going to get done because I'm exhausted and I still have more stuff to do, but I think that I'm going to drop it in time for Tenet for sure. So that's pretty much, Tenet. Yeah. I don't know if I'm going to end up going to see it. I don't know how comfortable I feel.
I'm so conflicted. I hate it.
Same.
Devin and I both have our tickets. We're like, do we go?
Yeah. Well, the thing is that I asked a friend of mine who works at the theater, and I said, "Listen, like I would love." She actually sent me a photo of the package that came in. Shouldn't be saying this, but she sent me a picture. But and then I asked her, I'm like, "But how are the theaters? Like, how's it going?" And I'm like, "I don't want to sit in a theater for 2.5 hours. You know what I mean? With a mask on, that's gonna be like rough. You know what I mean?" So she says to me, she's like, "Oh, you don't have to wear the mask in the theater." And I'm like,
"Oh
no, that answer, gang. Appreciate it. That's not happening."
Oh no,
she just killed my vibe. But yeah.
It's like, why would you say that?
The cough central of everywhere.
There's no filtration. It's not good. No bueno. But yeah, I'm gonna do a video essay for a ranking of all the Nolan films, hopefully.
Okay, awesome.
Thanks.
And of course, Devin and I, you can find us here at Film Optix, Optix with an X. I believe we are, well, I know the New Mutants comes out soon. I know we don't have tickets for that. We're, as we said,
not risking the Rona for New Mutants. I'm sorry.
Are we risking the Rona for Tenet though?
That's the question.
It just depends. But I know we're also going to be reviewing The Binge as well, that comes out on Hulu this coming up week. And when does Raised by Wolves comes out soon? Because
it drops Thursday.
Thursday, okay. Yeah, I asked for a screener like 2 weeks ago, and I still haven't heard anything back. I'm like, oh, okay, bye. Like, it's fine.
Oh, follow up.
But yeah. Well, yeah, I did on Friday. So hopefully I'll hear something by Monday. So if anything, I believe we're just going to review the binge. Tenet to be confirmed. I don't know. Everyone just have to stay tuned. We'll figure out something to do. But again, you can listen to this podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, Google Play, Red Circle, TuneIn, Pandora, and iHeartRadio. That was Devin, Leo, and Amanda. And my name is Christian. And we will see you guys in the next one.
Peace.